Welcome back to another video, guys, and today we're going to be talking about the top 3 problems that are currently in the game and that affect a lot of the players, a huge portion of the players, and I think those are also, in my opinion, like the problems that next games needs to tackle ASAP. Otherwise, a lot of players have begun actually quitting the game, and now they keep on quitting. And yes, let's talk about them. So, coming on number 3, we have the badge problem. Now, the badge problem is, first of all, let's talk about the legendary badges. How difficult it is to get a legendary badge. How difficult it is to actually to get a legendary component. Now, to be honest with you, I have opened about 70 large component crates since this feature came out. 70 large component crates, and I basically got about 6 or 7, maximum 8, 9 5-star components. Can you imagine this number? Open 70 crates and you get only like maybe 10, okay, maybe 10 components when you open 70 crates, but that's all. They are super rare. I believe it's like 1% chance to get them, maybe less, I don't know. But it's super hard to get those 5-star components. Now, post-mission crates seems to be better, especially in a bit high-level challenges after RSL 23 for me, where you get them quite often, 4 and 5-star. But 5 is still really rare. We need to play a lot. Sometimes you're lucky with a jackpot weekend. If we have a jackpot weekend, I got like 5 stars in one mission. But yeah, now let's talk about this problem. Like when you use 4 components of rarity, of 5-star rarity, that you get 4-star badge. Now this is something really weird. I don't know why this is actually a feature in the game like this, because basically in games I've played before, when you get something so rare, when you get it and when you want to make something that's even more rare, you're gonna have a better chance of that, because you spend so much time, maybe money as well, to actually to get those rare items and to actually make another really good item, and that item, really good item, is almost guaranteed. It's pretty much gonna be guaranteed, and I don't really know why when we spend 5-star components, which are incredibly hard to get, we get epic badges. It's a huge possibility. I believe it's like 60% epic badges, 40% legendary badges on that. Maybe it's 50-50, but still, I don't think this should ever exist. It should be guaranteed legendary badge when you use 5-star components. That should be just there straight away. I don't know why next games have not fixed this problem. I believe it's a big problem. It makes a lot of players frustrated with that. Especially those free-to-play players where they spend so much time farming those components and then they are actually rewarded with some 4-star badges. I'm not saying the 4-star badges are bad, but in this case you should be guaranteed 5-star badges, and to make you to help you power up your survivors even further. Yes, now if they cannot make this possible, if they cannot, if they don't want to do that, to allow us to have guaranteed 5-star badges from 5-star components, at least make the unequipment of badges for free and not make it an event like every 2 months. We have it like one weekend every 2 months, I believe, where we can get it for free, and that's only for like 72 hours. But this should be permanent if they cannot make this possible. At least this 15 gold every time you unequip a badge, this should be free, so players can actually equip and swap badges around their survivors, and at least allow us to do that, because that's an easy change, which is also a change in the game because it's already there, I believe, in the code, because you are releasing it as an event, so it should be there, so it should be possible to be permanent, and that should be done like straight away pretty much. But yeah, that's enough with the badges. I'm not gonna talk about how often you get 1 and 2-star badges. Like this is 1 and 2-star components. This is just crazy. I have so much of them and I just don't want to talk about it. But yeah, let's move on to the second problem of the game. Alright, so the second problem in my opinion is the distance. Now the distance is a new game mode that came out quite recently, but oh my god, like I like the fact that it's twice a week, alright? Twice a week. But everything is so goddamn repetitive that it's actually so boring now. I have not played the distance for 1 month right now. So today is January the, let me check again. Today is January the 13th, and honestly, haven't played it probably since December, before the holidays pretty much. I haven't played the distance. My goal with the distance was to unlock Aaron, which I did, so now I don't see any point in playing the distance more to upgrade Aaron, because basically all the maps are the same. They have a few layouts, they switch around every week, but they're still the same. In the beginning, the distance was really fun the first couple of weeks, but as time went on, it became super boring, repetitive, and it felt like a bit of a grind with the distance. Also the rewards now, oh my god, the rewards. Every mission has exactly the same rewards. The only thing they change is actually the fact that the heroes are actually rotating, and they actually, for instance, on mission 7 on hard mode, where you get 30 tokens of 2 heroes, you only get the same heroes all the time. Like, you never get heroes like Sasha or Abraham, or I don't know, one of those most used heroes. You never get them. You only get like Rufus, or you get Negan, or Glenn, or Daryl. The heroes and the tokens you can get so often, and it's like, it's so repetitive there. And basically you get those 1 and 2 star components, which are so annoying in the beginning. Yeah, I just don't want to talk about these components. They're so annoying. It's like a disease in the game, these components. Yes, alright. And basically I don't see why we cannot get 5-star guaranteed components in the distance instead of getting 4-star. Those high levels should guarantee you 1 5-star component at least every level. Because if you actually look at the screen, I believe on the distance, you know, where you have the challenge, the distance, the outpost screen, when you select the mode you want to play, you get, there is like 5-star equipment and a 5-star badge fragment there, but you never get 5-star components from there, which is really weird. But they actually have this 5-star badge fragment there. I don't know why. Is it misleading? Well, actually it's not misleading, but because people already know that's that. Also with the distance, apart from it being so repetitive, maybe the gas cost should be reduced permanently instead of 4 to like 3 or 2, because it's also really hard for free-to-play players, especially on a Saturday when we actually playing the challenge. And playing the distance, again, that's too much gas right there for free-to-play players, for players that do not spend money and do not get a gas booster, because obviously with a gas booster that's super easy to actually complete. Yes, now the other thing I want to talk about the distance is how often it occurs, and is that a problem? Basically we get it on Tuesday for 24 hours and on Saturday for 24 hours every week, twice a week. Now the second time we get it on Saturday, people do not have that much time to play it because they're focused on that challenge to get those final stars of the challenge, those Saturday and Sunday. So playing the distance there, I think it's a bit too much for them. And also weekend is also the time when you actually relax and, you know, okay, you're gonna play the game obviously, but it's just too much time you spend on the game, I guess, because the challenges are already there. And I believe maybe the distance should be available only once a week when we don't have the challenge. Now this opens another problem. Basically, now that we have the season 8 missions, or any missions we get, or trials, this Monday right there is for those missions to complete, which I understand, because there's like this schedule where we get Monday we have new season missions or trials that repeat. Tuesday we have the distance. Wednesday we have the Wednesday, Thursday, and to the end of the week is the challenge. Friday we have the weekend event and everything, and then we might have some other events which are happening on Thursday or Tuesday. I understand the schedule, which is a fine schedule to me, but I think the whole distance does not fit right there. Maybe what if you make a shorter distance with 10 missions instead of 21, or 11 missions for 12 hours, and basically reduce the gas cost to like 2 or to 1. I believe this might be something really interesting. At least it's gonna be interesting to me. I don't know. I'm always open to feedback on the comments below. If you guys think this will be interesting, make a distance once for 12 hours, or even twice, because even 3 times, because it's gonna be 12 hours now, and it's gonna be super short, like 10 maps, 1 gas cost, or maximum 2 gas costs. So that's a maximum maybe 20 gas costs, and that should be enough, because you're gonna even have more gas than that for high level players, because the max capacity is 29 right now. So I'm making it this way, I think, and also improving the rewards, because obviously, because if it's 10 missions for 12 hours, the difficulty is going to increase like this. It's going to be like this slope, like it's going to be super hard immediately. So maybe with that distance you get easy, normal, hard mode. So hard, or maybe even extreme mode or nightmare mode, like in normal chapter missions, and where you get only 5-star equipment, you get 5-star fragments, you get a lot of a crap ton of hero tokens, you get a lot of experience, maybe supplies for, I don't know, but maybe that's for hard mode. But nightmare mode should be only for those max out players, and it should be pretty fun to try it out and at least know that you're actually getting them good rewards, you know? It's not like random crap rewards that you get, like 1 and 2-star fragments on I mean components on hard mode. Yes, that could be another option. Now another option could be to allow the distance to be once a week for 48 hours. Because even if it's on a challenge day, it's still 48 hours is a lot more if you keep it the same amount of missions. Instead of don't do like 30 missions, do it like 21 missions. And I think that could also help players, because 48 hours is more than 24 hours. And also those 24 hours, at least 7 or 8 hours of those 24 hours you actually sleep. So you don't, and the other time you may be working, you may be doing busy with other stuff, you might not be able to play on that day specifically. So yes, I think 48 hours is a better option. Or also maybe instead of doing it on Wednesday to Friday or Friday to Sunday, maybe do it from Sunday to Tuesday, because basically if you do it from Sunday, Sunday is basically a time when a lot of the players have also reached their personal best with the stars, and they're not playing the challenge anymore, so they can start playing the distance. Monday they can play the distance and those seasonal missions and trials, because you get this 1 hour cooldown on the trial. So during this time you can play distance, and then you have part of Tuesday as well, where you have no challenge and no season missions. So Sunday to Tuesday seems to be a better option for that 48-hour distance campaign. So yeah, I have 2 suggestions so far. Either you make it 12 hours, less missions, better rewards for 1 or 2 gas costs, or make it 48 hours to play on Sunday to Tuesday and have more time for the players. Maybe reduce the gas cost from 4 to 3 and make it permanent, so free-to-play players can actually enjoy the distance and have more players play the distance. And also maybe introduce a nightmare mode for that 12-hour campaign, making it super, because you have only 12 hours to complete these extreme 10 super hard missions. And get at least, you know, you get some decent rewards, like 50 or 100 Abraham tokens, or 2 5-star badge fragments or components, or maybe you even get some badges, you know, as a reward from the distance. Maybe you get some guaranteed badges. Let's say you complete this last mission, you get a guaranteed 4 or 5-star badge, and then when you open that crate with a badge, you can see what the effect is going to be, if it's going to be damage increase, damage reduction, or health increase, or damage increase, or etc. Yes, that's the thing for the distance. It's still a problem, and those are my solutions to the distance. I believe could work. Moving on to the first problem, the most important problem in the game. We have the challenge grind. Now the challenges, the thing players play every week pretty much. For most of the players, challenges have existed for 2 years now, since the game came out, and we had this new challenge revamp last year, beginning of 2017, where we got this new layout of the challenges, which kind of reduced the grind, you can say, but it still introduced more and more problems. And basically next games, after like 8 months, introduced this new item called the round pass, which is an amazing item. I do love this item. It's incredible item. Every couple of rounds you get this round pass, and next week you get more rewards for the same time that you play, more stars, and basically it puts less pressure on you with the challenges, even for free to play players. But a lot of problems still exist. Like, first of all, let's talk about the challenge maps. Like, every couple of weeks or months we get the same challenge maps every time. Like, what happened with challenge maps like the suburbs or the graveyard, or even like burning forest? I believe there was one. No, sorry, that was dim forest, which they changed, which we actually get it a bit. But there are some maps, even classic maps we got back in the old days, that actually we do not see them anymore. Like, the whole thing is so repetitive every time. It's even annoying. Like, you exactly know where the walkers are gonna spawn, or where these saviors are gonna spawn. Or, I mean, I know they're still trying to make new challenge maps, but I believe they should just stop with the challenge maps for now and focus on other important things. Now, I know they also have, between August and February, they're busy with the season content that comes with the show, and they want to put this content there, and in the other time they actually develop new challenge maps. But I would prefer them to actually start developing a chapter 15 and 16, or even further, because I do love the original story of the game. Because I believe there is this one baby where we actually haven't heard anything about it for like a year and a half. I believe episode 14 came out in July 2016. So yeah, it's been like a while. Today is the January 13th, 2018, a year and a half. It's crazy that we haven't heard anything from that baby. Is it alive? Is it dead? I really want to know more about it. But yeah, now moving on, back to the challenge. The maps are repetitive, we know, and the solution is, I would actually, you know, you can always make more and more maps, but I also wanted to play those classic maps we had back in the days. And also I want to see more chapter missions, obviously, which are not related to the challenge maps, but I know because they're developing a lot of challenge maps, they don't have the time to develop chapter missions, and I want more chapter missions, and chapter missions have been requested by a lot of players. So let's move on to the challenge grind. Right, so where should I start? First of all, I believe the starting level is really weird. Like, not weird, but it should... Basically, this whole ultimate challenge thing we got for 1 week was amazing. It was like the best thing that could ever happen in this game. Well, actually, a lot of good things happened in this game, but this was so far the best thing that happened in this game. I believe usually as a max player I started RSL 14, but I started at RSL 19, and with the round pass I started like at RSL 23 or 24, which was really good, really awesome, really amazing. I loved it. Also, I love the fact that instead of getting 3 rounds after like a couple of, I believe after 5 or 6 rounds, you get those, you have to do the same round 3 times, but you get it only twice, which is super quick, super easy, you go. But obviously the second round is harder because there are going to be more walker spawns, a lot of walker spawns, but it was amazing. And also the fact that we got the round pass every 3 rounds instead of 5 rounds, because this pass is amazing. This new item, we got it for New Year, and to be honest with you, I haven't played the challenge since New Year because that round pass went back to 5 rounds per one pass, and I just don't like that. So I'm probably not gonna play the challenges for a while. Yes, I just love this round pass, and if you make it so hard to get, it's still, I feel like it should be either 2 or 3 rounds for this round pass. 3 rounds was really nice, because the more round passes you have, the further you're gonna start the challenge, and basically the more double stars you're gonna get from these rounds, and we're gonna be quickly reaching those 1000 star peak, and moving on and trying to improve your personal best record. Now there's some other problems, like the gas cost is not a problem for players by the gas boosters, but I believe the gas cost should be maybe slightly bit toned down. Maybe instead of a 3, 4 or 5 gas, or was it 4, 5 and 6 gas, you make it 2, 3 or 4 gas. Yeah, I mean, for free to play players, I mean, you need to think about them as well. I know we can get some more gas, let's say in the trade goods shop, or you get now with a new quest system, I believe some quests reward you with 10 gas, which is nice, which is nice. More ways to get gas for free-to-play players is always nice. But still, I would have reduced the gas cost slightly. And now let's talk about. I mean, this whole challenge grind is such a big issue that everyone's been complaining about. And obviously, there are some easy solutions, like let's say round passes, allowing us to get more round passes really quickly. But other things that we could have is maybe allow us to start the challenge a bit further than before, like the starting level, increase it, maybe start RSL 16 instead of 14 for max players. I know other mid players and beginner players have been complaining with this ultimate challenge scheme, because they hit their new personal best. I mean, not personal best, they hit this barrier where they cannot progress any further because the walkers are too strong for their survivors and equipment too quickly. But I believe gradually this is going to improve, because now we have the badges, and now if they make it easier to get those 4 and 5 star badges, then it's going to be easier for survivors to be more powerful and to progress further, even with this ultimate challenge ultimate challenge scheme. And I believe those two issues with badges and challenges, they kind of overlap, and maybe allow us to have this new, maybe, I don't know. Honestly, I don't have a complete solution for this challenge grind thing, apart from maybe reducing it, or maybe even making it make the challenge shorter, similar to a distance, and you start further in that challenge. You know, this could be maybe another possibility. Instead of having the challenge for 5 days, you make it 3 or 4 days, but you start further. Or instead of starting further, you just reduce that grind by, instead of repeating 3 rounds, you have only 2 rounds, and you have the round passes easier to get, like 3 or 2 rounds instead of 5 rounds. Maybe also increase the stars you get per mission. Let's say instead of doing 6 missions, now this is something I'm just coming up with, but maybe instead of doing 6 missions every round, you do 3 or 4 missions which are harder, but they give you like 10 stars or 8 stars instead of 3 stars, something like that. Something that, so you, because you're still playing those missions and you get more stars for that. But I believe the round passes are already doing that, because they're doubling those stars. But maybe why don't you do something like let's say you start at RSL 14, and after RSL 20 on one map, instead of getting 3 stars, you get like 6 stars even without the round pass. Basically, the more you progress further and the more repetitive you get, let's say you get 3 rounds to repeat, which are with the same difficulty, you get more stars for that mission. So basically you get, instead of 3 stars, you get 4 or 5 stars, because you completed that mission without getting any injury, without any walker biting you, which is going to be interesting, because that's going to be more interesting for players. Because let's say, okay, you go at RSL 27, which is already high enough for right now for the current cancel level, RSL level 27, and basically if you complete these missions of that round, let's say 1 mission of this round, I mean, I'm going to have an example with only 1 mission, but it's going to be the same for every mission. But if you complete only 1 mission, you get this extra 2 stars for completing these missions without getting a heavy injury, without getting a bruise, and without any walker biting you. So that's extra 6 stars you can get from that missions, instead of the normal 3 stars, which is going to be quite interesting, because that's going to change the way you actually get those stars and the way you actually approach those harder missions. Now I know at some point it's going to be super hard to actually get those extra stars, because the walkers are going to be super difficult, like when you have level 35 walkers against level 22 survivors. But I still believe this could be an easy solution to that. Just like, let's say, I believe the current one is like, you get a star for completing the missions, you get a star for not getting a heavy injury, and you get a star for not getting bruised. So if you get a star for not getting any damage at all, or if you get a star maybe for not, I don't know, maybe for not killing any walker, or for not, I don't know, maybe for not using a charged ability, you know, that could be another thing. Or maybe you get an extra star for not using a quick step. You know, when you do the white thing, when you see only the quick step, and you only do like the blue, the longer steps, or maybe you have to complete the mission with only quick steps instead of not using the blue steps to get that extra star. I believe that is going to be a really nice solution, like to the grind. I mean, I guess these suggestions I'm making are more to get more stars and not really reducing the grind. But with the grind, the easiest way to reduce it is basically the ultimate challenge format, because I cannot think of anything better than the ultimate challenge. Like this was really good, like starting so late, getting less rounds to less RSLs to redo again, and to have easier round passes. I think those three were the best changes ever. And on top of that, the double guild rewards, which obviously is nice to have as an event once in a while, not permanent thing. And obviously getting more trade goods and stars. Yes, I mean, this is the thing I have so far. I'm always open to suggestions for you guys in the comment section below. Yes, I'm also thinking those are the three main issues right now: challenge grind, distance, and badges so far. Now we have other problems, obviously, like the constant cancel levels and not being able to upgrade equipment like survivors. But yeah, that's it for now. Those are, I believe, the three main issues right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all on my next video.